Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Me. Top of the war, mastermind behind the scenes. Crossing through pirates and obtaining the predator system. Facing the upcoming top war. Is it choosing to take the opportunity to rise up? Or live a peaceful life? Lin Xiao's choice was to completely transform this epic battle into his stage. When the fragmented Marinfando slowly sank to the bottom of the sea, Lin Xiao declares to the world, "My era has arrived." Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Now, you can die with peace of mind. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Now, you can die with peace of mind. Seeking flowers, seeking collection, seeking evaluation. The year 1520 in the Yuan calendar. The first half of the Great Waterway. Alabaston. Wow! The chaotic killing on the square stopped instantly as the pouring rain fell. Everyone looked up at the sky. This is the first rain in the entire kingdom in 3 years. The rebel army composed of civilians is even more like Zhang de Ziba with tears in his eyes, tasting the taste of this long-lost rain. Over the years, countless civilians have died tragically due to extreme water scarcity. War also broke out as a result. Pop it up. A figure descended from the sky and hit the center of the crowd heavily. It is one of the 7 martial seas under the king who has just been defeated by Luffy, the national hero of Alabastion, Crocodile Sand. A large fleet of navy was charging towards the location where he had fallen in the distance. And a young man, who was about 17 or 18 years old, with a tall figure, sharp and profound eyes, and a handsome appearance, arrived at Clockdale's side before the navy. Alabastion is really a foolish country. From the king to the commoners, you have been playing around all by yourself. Lin Xiao looked down at Clockdale from a high position, with a slight mocking smile curved at the corner of his mouth. However, one of the 7 martial seas under the heavenly king, a natural person with the ability of sand fruit, would be defeated by a little ghost who doesn't even know how to wield armed and domineering colors. This feeling must be very uncomfortable. As a traveler, even Lin Xiao had already understood the plot. But when he saw with his own eyes the devastating defeat of Clockdale to Luffy, who didn't even know how to wield an armed and domineering aura, it is still inevitable to lament. The protagonist's aura is impressive. You should know that back then, Clockdale was evenly matched with Barrett, the devil's heir, and dared to challenge the ruthless character with the world's strongest man, Whitebeard. Even though he has been addicted to conspiracies and schemes for years, the combat power is somewhat neglected. It won't fall to the point of being beaten by the inexperienced Luffy. Except for Luffy forcing the suspension, Lin Xiao really can't come up with any other reasonable explanation. However, for him, such a result, but it is the most advantageous. Because he possesses the predator system, now you can effortlessly obtain the sand fruit on the opponent's body. The function of the predator system is very simple, but it's also very unfavorable. It is the ability to plunder the newly deceased within a day. There are roughly 2 ways of plundering. In Lin Xiao's own words, it's just a way of spending money, a way of not spending money. Normal predation. Randomly acquire a skill from a new deceased person. This ability can be a certain physical skill, swordsmanship proficiency, special ability or physique, or one of the 3 colors of dominance, or perhaps luck is in full swing, the ability to draw the demonic fruits possessed by the deceased during their lifetime. And specifically which one to draw, it's all about character. In contrast, VIP plunder is much simpler, rougher, and more outrageous. VIP plunder can completely plunder all the abilities of new deceased before their death. That's right, it's all about ability. However, select a VIP plunder, it requires a huge cost of 1 billion berry to open. Sure enough, no matter which world. Only with Krypton can one become stronger. Little devil, I know who you are. Although Clockdale is now covered in bloodstains and looks very disheveled, but the exclusive haughty temperament has not restrained at all. Glancing contemptuously at Lin Xiao, he said. You are the coffin fruit cultivator who suddenly gained fame on the Great Waterway in the past 6 months. The corpse collector, Lin Xiao. The so-called coffin fruit is actually just a rumor deliberately spread by Lin Xiao to conceal the existence of the system. Tisk, truly worthy of being Crocodile. The news is indeed well informed, and I believe that I have acted low-key enough to not even escape your intelligence network. Lin Xiao still agrees with Clockdale's methods and ambitions. Just this ambitious man, but all hope of conquering the world, the wrong reliance was placed on the search for the ancient weapon, Hades' King. He forgot the most important rule of survival. That is only when one's own strength is strong, only then can he support his grand ambitions and dreams. Humph, a stinky little devil who only knows how to shuttle between major battlefields to collect corpses and receive bounties, how dare he speak to me in such a tone? He really doesn't know what to say. Clockdale snorted coldly. In his eyes, Lin Xiao is just a small character who snatches people's heads on the battlefield to receive rewards. It's just a bug that he can crush at any time. Although I have guessed the outcome, before we officially start, I still have to ask. Crocodile, are you interested in joining my team and working with me to create a new era? Lin Xiao didn't care about the other party's mockery and said very seriously. Ha! Clockdale gave Lin Xiao a disdainful glance. How could he possibly become someone else's subordinate? Listen to me, little devil. Anyone who has some understanding of this world would not easily say such foolish words. Even an unknown person like you deserves to be my captain. However, before he could finish speaking, Clockdale suddenly realized that he was staring at Lin Xiao tightly and asked, Wait a moment, stinky little devil. You actually want to kill me? I know your dream is to become the One Piece King, but unfortunately, you missed the best opportunity. Lin Xiaolu shook his head with regret. Pirates like Crocodile need strategy and strength. Looking at the entire pirate world, it is extremely rare. But what he values more is loyalty. But that's okay, the sand fruit is a bit of a waste in your hands. I can make it unleash even more powerful power. What do you mean by that? A look of doubt and vigilance flashed in Clockdale's eyes. That's the literal meaning. I really like your demon fruit. For this reason, in the past 6 months, I have risked my life to travel to various battlefields and specially saved 1 billion berry for you. Lin Xiao's eyes suddenly flickered with excitement, glanced at the rapidly approaching navy in the distance, and continued. But what I didn't expect was that there was an unexpected gain this time. Just now, I unexpectedly plundered a very nice explosive ability from one of your subordinates. If used together with the sand fruit on your body, then the power may instantly increase by more than 100 times. What? You got Mr. Five's explosive fruit ability? It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. Clockdale's face had long lost the arrogance and disdain he had just shown, and his eyes were filled with an incredulous expression. Pop! Accompanied by a snap of Lin Xiao's finger. The ground suddenly trembled slightly. Then, in Clockdale's astonished gaze, 8 pitch-black coffins slowly rose from below the ground. The owner of the explosive fruit, Mr. Five's body is prominently among them. Except for Nicole Robin and Mr. Two who managed to escape, everyone else under your command is here. How about? Now you can die with peace of mind. As the words fell, Lin Xiao wrapped his arm around his armed and domineering right arm, and in the astonishment and unwillingness of Clockdale's gaze, he directly twisted his neck. VIP plunder, start. P.S. The new book is on its way. We kindly ask all the big shots to vote for free flowers and tickets. Thank you very much, little brother. Chapter 2. VIP plunder, sand fruit in hand. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 VIP Plunder, Sand Fruit in Hand. Seeking flowers, seeking collection, seeking evaluation. Ding, the system has detected the body of a newly deceased person named Shah Proctor within a day, which meets the conditions for ability plunder. May I ask if the host has activated the Heavenly Descent Golden Coffin special effect? It sounds very interesting to me. Open it. Lin Xiao raised his eyebrows and immediately ordered. With the issuance of orders, a dazzling golden stream suddenly appeared in the originally rainy sky. Immediately after, in the shocked gaze of tens of thousands of people on the square, a huge golden coffin with an extremely luxurious design fell from the sky. Boom! The whole earth trembled violently. While the golden coffin lid opens, the 6 arms thick golden chains instantly emerged from the coffin. Directly dragged Clockdale's body inside. Ding, the system has automatically deducted 1 billion berries. The golden coffin enjoys an invincible buff exclusive time in 1 minute and is not affected by any form of attack other than the host. At the end of the system prompt sound, the coffin lid made of gold is heavily closed. Krypton gold is indeed a cow bee. Upon hearing that the golden coffin summoned by VIP Plunder was invincible for 1 minute, Lin Xiao couldn't help but feel a sigh of emotion. You should know that the black coffins summoned by the ordinary plunder have a special restriction of not being disturbed by anyone except the host for 5 minutes, otherwise the plunder time will be recalculated. And the special effects of the heavenly descending golden coffin are obviously much more impressive than those of the black coffin. If it weren't for the skyrocketing price of 1 billion berry that Lin Xiao felt very upset, I'm afraid VIP predation will become his only exclusive skill for collecting corpses. Not long after the golden coffin lid closed, Lin Xiao's mind once again heard the system's prompt sound. Ding! VIP ability plunder completed. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Sand Fruit ability possessed by the newly deceased Shah Proctor. The system has automatically undergone scale.free treatment to eliminate side effects such as seawater and sea floor stones. Please use with confidence. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining beginner level armed color dominance. As it does not exceed the host's own level, it will automatically convert to corresponding experience. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining beginner-level seeing, hearing, and colorful dominance. As it does not exceed the host's own level, it will automatically convert to corresponding experience. Note: there is no 3-color dominance on the original life card of Old Shah, but I think that Old Shah, who became famous at a young age in the New World, is not so miserable that he cannot even be domineering, so I added 2 items, no wonder. Isn't that right? The 7 martial Cs under the Tang Dynasty King are only at the beginner level for their domineering aura. Listening to the system prompt sound in my mind, Lin Xiao couldn't help but sigh. Normally, the system divides capabilities into 5 levels. Beginner level. Beginner level. Intermediate. Advanced. Perfect. In his impression, Crodel, who once dared to challenge Whitebeard and shone brightly in the top war, should not be so weak in his domineering spirit, as he often engaged in various confrontations with others. Fortunately, I didn't put all my treasures on Clockdale's body. Otherwise, with this entry-level armed aura alone, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to deal with that big-eared thief on the empty island. Lin Xiao murmured to himself. The empty island is his next goal. As early as when the system was awakened, Lin Xiao takes advantage of the advantages of the walkthrough. I have developed an extremely crazy plan for my own rise. What kind of pirate king or navy king doesn't attract him at all? He wants to be the supreme ruler of this world. And the most crucial part of the entire rise plan, he set it as a top war that could influence the world order. As soon as I thought about leading that epic battle, Lin Xiao's heart surged with excitement. Lin Xiao then calls up his property panel. Host. Lin Xiao. Age. 18 years old. Skill. Armed color dominance. Intermediate plus dot. Seen and heard colorful dominance. Beginner plus dot. Overlord color and domineering aura. None. Kendo achievement. Ordinary swordsman plus dot. Special sword technique. Feng Shui slash. 6 styles. Shaving, finger gun, moon step, paper painting, lawn jiao. Fishman karate. 1,000 wajing fists. Special constitution. Fishman physique, underwater free breathing, underwater brisk movement, 10 times normal human wrist strength, subgiant physique, the strength of bones, muscles, and organs far exceeds that of ordinary people, unscrupulous, weakness-free, devil fruit. Sand fruit, explosive fruit. Although the various attributes are not glamorous, they were obtained by him, risking his life and crazily wandering through various battlefields to collect corpses and plunder during the 6 months after crossing the country. With the combination of sha fruit and explosive fruit, as long as you can sustain your stamina, you should be able to unleash the stunning effect of 600 billion explosive talismans. Lin Xiao's eyes flashed with an eager expression, and he had a little more confidence in his plan. Damn it, the corpse collector, how could it be you again? Don't you know that Proctor has a special identity as the King's 7 martial seas? Even if he needs to be executed, it should still be carried out by our navy. The naval soldiers of the battalion rushed over and directly surrounded Lin Xiao in the center. Under the command of the leading lieutenant, they immediately aimed their weapons at him. You don't want to arrest Luffy and his gang in the alley, and you don't care about Crocodile, who secretly planned to provoke war. But now, because I killed a few pirates, he's ready to take action against me, a civilian. Is this the justice that your navy upholds? Lin Xiao's lips curved into a sneer, and a murderous intent appeared in his eyes. He said word by word. It seems that my decision to refuse the invitation from the Warring States period and not join the navy was an incredibly correct one, because such a corrupt and despicable navy is really disgusting. Damn it, Lin Xiao, you have been arrested for publicly defaming the reputation of the navy, executing members of the 7 martial seas under the king without authorization, and using the name of a naval marshal as a taboo. The leading lieutenant sneered inwardly, I advise you to surrender immediately, otherwise the gun in Jun Ye's hand won't have long eyes. His gaze was greedily fixed on the golden coffin behind Lin Xiao, it goes without saying. The credit for annihilating Proctor in the golden coffin, he wants everything. Originally, for the sake of the bounty, I planned to have a fight with the navy later. Hey, it seems like I have another way to make money. Lin Xiao shook his head with a lack of interest and then gently pressed his right hand towards the ground. Roaming and rumbling, the next moment, the huge square shook violently. The ground paved with thick stone slabs quickly deserts, even the land under the slate and the surrounding buildings cannot be spared. In the blink of an eye, the front of the palace has turned into a lifeless wasteland. Oh my God, isn't this Clockdale's ability? Why would that boy also use it? It's too scary. Does that kid want to go against the navy? Hurry up and escape this area, otherwise you'll die. The members of the rebel army and the king's guard were all stunned by the sight in front of them. Nearly 10,000 people fled out in panic. Soon, only the navy surrounding Lin Xiao remained. It's just that they don't want to escape. But their bodies were already wrapped in sand at some point. Don't kill me, otherwise the Navy headquarters and Colonel Smog will definitely not let you go. On the brink of death, the naval lieutenant did not forget to threaten Lin Xiao. The latter responded with only 4 faint words. Sand waterfall. Funeral. Like a crushed insect pupa, the muffled sound of bang bang kept ringing one after another. The yellow sand on the ground was quickly dyed into a red sea with fresh blood. P.S. The new book is on its way. We kindly ask all the big shots to vote for free flowers and tickets. Thank you very much, little brother. Chapter 3. This son has the talent of a great general. Seeking fresh flowers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. This son has the talent of a great general. Seeking flowers, seeking collection, seeking evaluation. Damn it, what exactly did that bastard Lin Xiao do? When Smog rushed to the palace upon hearing the news, he was immediately stunned by the bloody scene in front of him. I saw that the square of Nuoda had long been abandoned. And in the center, nearly 100 crushed corpses were terrifying as if they were in a pool of blood. The rich and bloody smell constantly stimulates everyone's olfactory nerves. Lin Xiao, is this your true strength? Daki recalled her playful and handsome face, and her sword-wielding hand couldn't help but tremble. This young man whom they have always considered harmless to humans and animals, I didn't expect to have such terrifying strength. Smog, in a fit of anger, took out the foam worm and called martial warring states. I have reported everything here once. Proctor has been killed. Nearly 100 advance troops have also been killed. And surprisingly, all of this was done by that kid Lin Xiao. In the marshal's office, when the warring states received the news that Smog had returned from Alabastion, his face immediately became extremely ugly. Hey, warring states period, it seems that the child ultimately fell on our opposite side. Chief Staff Officer he shook his head with a regretful expression and said. Are you two talking about the corpse collectors who have been active on various battlefields in the past 6 months? Kapu laughed heartlessly on the side and said, Waha, warring states period, I've heard that the young man refused your invitation once before. What do you know? That kid has the potential and qualifications to become a great general. If he is allowed to become a pirate, he may become a tricky guy like the red-haired Shanks in the future. The face of the warring states period became increasingly gloomy. Immediately, as if remembering something, with a fierce tap on the table, angry, he pointed at Kapu and cursed, it's all your old bastard's grandson who caused the trouble. If it weren't for him defeating Clockdale, how could Lin Xiao have a chance to take advantage of it? Half a year ago, during the warring states period, Lin Xiao was noticed as a rising star with the ability of coffin fruit. Afterwards, he was even more shocked by the terrifying growth rate of the other party. And firmly believed that Lin Xiao has the potential and qualifications to become a great general. So the warring states period personally sent an invitation to Lin Xiao, I hope he can join the navy. However, what puzzled and angered the warring states period was that, Lin Xiao refused him with the lame excuse of getting used to a carefree life. This made the warring states feel both regret and concern. And today, what he was most worried about finally happened. Hey, is that kid Luffy already so powerful now? Even the 7 martial seas under the king can defeat him. Waha, he truly deserves to be my grandson. Cap's brain circuits are as bizarre as Luffy's. Not only did he not worry about Luffy, but a proud expression appeared on his face. Angry and jumping over the table in the warring states period is an old fist. The warring states period, the current urgent task is how to explain to the outside world the battle that occurred in Alabastion. Chief Staff Officer he spoke again with profound meaning. The reason why Proctor was able to easily gain the trust of King Abastan and the people, and successfully implemented the Ideal Township usurpation plan, it is closely related to his status as the 7 martial seas under the king granted by the world government. If the true inside story of this battle is made public, I'm afraid the credibility of the world government and naval headquarters will be greatly compromised. The Navy headquarters is likely to be labeled as incompetent. This is something that high-level officials such as the warring states period do not want to see. At present, we can only declare to the public that this successful campaign against Proctor is all due to Smog and others' contributions, then use the award ceremony to divert external attention, and finally secretly and completely resolve this matter. Rubbing his temples during the warring states period, he said with a headache. He nodded in agreement and shifted his gaze once again to Lin Xiao's photo, saying with some concern. Smog said he used the same power as Clockdale. How many secrets are still hidden in him? Immediately send someone to investigate his whereabouts, even if it cannot be used by the Navy, then try to solve it before he grows up. A resolute killing intent flashed in the eyes of the Warring States period. He has never been a soft-hearted person. This can be seen from his plan in order to shell O'Hara 20 years ago. Night falls. Alabaston. Imperial Palace. King Cobra looked at the black-haired boy sitting across from him with a look of fear and unease. Just a few minutes ago. He, who had just settled in with Luffy and his group, was about to return to his dormitory to rest when he was stopped by Lin Xiao, who had solidified from the yellow sand. In the blink of an eye, all the guards around him were instantly killed by the opponent. Even more terrifying is that, Cobra recognized the ability of Sha Shagua. He has an instinctive fear of the ability to sand everything. Alabastion just sent away a demon, are we about to welcome the next one? Who are you? And why do you possess the abilities of Clockdale? Cobra mustered the courage and asked cautiously. It doesn't matter who I am. Lin Xiao waved his hand and said with a wicked smile, the important thing is, if you don't want to see Luffy and his team killed by me, you can buy their lives with 2 billion berry. Lin Xiao almost lost his country's Kubula without empathy. On the contrary, he felt very foolish and incompetent. The suffering and death suffered by the people of Abastan over the years, it is closely related to his brainless actions. Anyone with some intelligence, I wouldn't believe that Clockder, one of the 7 martial seas under the king, is a good person. But Cobra believed. So if Lin Xiao didn't hit him before leaving, it would be a pity for Cobra's intelligence. Okay. But you must promise me that once you receive the money, you can no longer harm them and leave Alabastion immediately. After hesitating for a moment, Cobra said. Faced with Lin Xiao, who possesses the same abilities as Clockdale, apart from compromise, he couldn't think of any other way. No problem, I always keep my word. Lin Xiao lifted Erlang's feet and said calmly. At the moment, he really has no plans to deal with Luffy. Because keeping this troublemaker will still be of great use. After all, his current fame and bounty, it cannot be compared to the post-Justice Island incident. Soon, a team of guards delivered a ransom of 2 billion berry. Lin Xiao nodded in satisfaction, then took the money and turned into a yellow sand, flying into the pitch-black rainy night in Kubula's shocked gaze. His ability, why isn't he afraid of rain? P.S. The new book is on its way. We kindly ask all the big shots to vote for free flowers and tickets. Thank you very much, little brother. Chapter 4. The Self-Righteous Eni Road. Seeking Fresh Flowers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. The Self-Righteous Eni Road. Seeking Flowers, Seeking Collection, Seeking Evaluation. 3 days later. An empty island located 10,000 meters above the ground. Lin Xiao used the characteristic of sand fruit to transform into a sandstorm flight and arrived at the empty island before Luffy and his group. Inalu, what kind of choice would you make? The purpose of Lin Xiao's trip is very clear. Inalu or thunder fruit. Although in the original work, Luffy used his attributes to counter each other and unleashed his attacks on Inalu. But Lin Xiao doesn't think this big-eared thief is very weak. It can only be said that Luffy's forced suspension was too deadly. Eni Road has a top-notch and powerful heart network that can cover the entire island. At the same time, it can also move at lightning speed in the air, and using high-voltage electricity to generate thermal energy can even dissolve gold. But that's it, he still lost to Luffy, who didn't even know how to be armed and domineering. Forcefully open the hook. Eni Road's strength may not be as good as the level of the 3 major generals, but the destructive power of the thunder fruit, but it is no less than half of those 3 natural demon fruits. This is also the reason why Lin Xiao is preparing to recruit Inalu. The other party still has a lot of room for growth. Lin Xiao transformed into a yellow sand and floated all the way to the outside of the God Society where Eni Road was located. But I found that the 4 figures were already waiting outside the door early. It is the 4 great priests under Enelu. Xinhuang really lives up to its reputation. It seems that you had already discovered me when I first landed on the island, Eni Road. Lin Xiao faced the gods and said with a smile. He believes that even if they are far apart, you can definitely hear Enelu inside. Hey, Qinghai people, trespassing on a shrine is a capital offense. If you are willing to obediently participate in the trial, there may still be a glimmer of survival, otherwise we will directly kill you here as a warning to others. The divine officer of the iron trial, carried his iron cloud blade and looked coldly at Lin Xiao. It's better for me to stay away, otherwise I'll die a miserable death. Lin Xiao said with a wicked smile. Next second, his figure had already appeared behind the 4 priests. How could it be? His speed can't even be captured by a heart net. The 4 divine officials were all staring with shocked eyes. They have only seen this situation with one person, that is the supreme ruler of the island, God Enelu. Does this kid have the same strength as a god? Impossible, on this island, God is invincible. How could humble Qinghai people possibly possess that miraculous power? Let's all take action together. The 4 divine officials looked at each other and couldn't let Lin Xiao smoothly enter the shrine, otherwise what awaited them would be the harshest punishment. What's going on? Why is sand appearing here? Just as the 4 of them were about to take action, they were shocked to find that their feet were somehow bound by the sand. The quicksand quickly enveloped the 4 people, no matter how hard they struggle, they cannot escape. Sand explosion. As Lin Xiao was about to step into the gate of the shrine, he casually grasped his right hand. Boom! 4 terrifying explosions instantly echoed through the entire island. The combination of sand fruit and explosive fruit unleashed an exceptionally powerful force. Except for the 4 strongest deities on the outer space island of Eni Road, unexpectedly, he instantly killed all of them. Yeah, I didn't expect Qinghai people to have such strength. How about, are you interested in becoming a new servant of God? I can bestow upon you supreme glory and take you to the infinite land that only God can reach. Inside the main hall, Enelu lay lazily on the sofa, holding an apple in his hand and looking at Lin Xiao with an appreciative expression on his face. Nima, it's clear that I'm here to recruit you, okay? Lin Xiao pursed his lips. Enelu's rebellious and arrogant personality is even more annoying than in anime. The possibility of completely surrendering such people is also very small. However, Lin Xiao had already made plans when he came. If you don't join, take it out. In short, he is sure to win the thunderous fruits of this trip. The infinite earth you are talking about should be the moon, right? Lin Xiao looked at Enelu with a rustic gaze and chuckled lightly. Enelu, I'm here specifically for you this time. How about, are you interested in joining my team and starting a new era with me in the lower world? Hey, Qinghai people, offending the authority of God is a capital offense. God's punishment. Enelu's face instantly became extremely gloomy. The ignorant Qinghai native across the street, not only did he refuse his invitation, surprisingly, he even deluded himself into becoming someone else's subordinate. It's incredibly foolish. Only by lowering the heavenly punishment can the other party realize the majesty of God that cannot be provoked. Rumble, in the next moment, a terrifying thunderbolt descended from the sky. The huge lightning pillar directly submerged Lin Xiao's figure inside. What a pity. You had the opportunity to accompany this god to the infinite land. Nanny. Surprisingly, you survived my attack unscathed. Enelu, who had been shaking her head with a regretful expression, suddenly widened her eyes and looked at Lin Xiao, who had walked out of the Leju without any damage. Her chin almost fell to the ground. How could one's divine punishment be blocked? This is absolutely impossible. Damn it, die for me. 30 million volts Thunderbird. Enelu flipped over and jumped up, tapping the golden stick in his hand towards the drum on his right shoulder. The thunderous sound of thunder suddenly rose, and a phoenix-shaped lightning bird flapped its wings and attacked Lin Xiao. A self-righteous guy. Lin Xiao gave a ferocious smile, his right hand wrapped in an armed and domineering aura, and then he punched the thunderbird that was rushing towards him. Boom! The thunderbird instantly disintegrated and dissipated into the air. How could this be possible? The attack was unexpectedly blocked again. Enelu's face had long lost its previous composure and looked at Lin Xiao with disbelief. He couldn't figure it out. Why could the other party smash his thunderbird with their fists? Enelu, if you don't want to join, then hand over the thunder fruit. P.S. The new book is on its way. We kindly ask all the big shots to vote for free flowers and tickets. Thank you very much, little brother. Chapter 5. Sand Rain. Unlimited Explosive. Seeking Fresh Flowers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Sand Rain. Unlimited Explosive. Seeking Flowers, Seeking Collection, Seeking Evaluation. Surprisingly, you dare to speak up in front of God. Qinghai people, you really don't know how to live or die. In front of me, whatever you do is useless because I am God. 60 million volts Thunder Dragon. Enelu's face showed a ferocious expression. The thunder fruit is like his taboo, no one is allowed to peep, I can't even think about it. The golden stick struck the drum on the shoulder twice in a row, and the fierce thunder instantly illuminated the entire temple. A ferocious thunder dragon fiercely charged towards Lin Xiao. Armed explosive fist. Lin Xiao snorted coldly, and his right fist wrapped around his armed colors struck again, but this time he also used the ability to explode fruits. Bang! The terrifying explosion directly shattered the oncoming thunder dragon. Meanwhile, Lin Xiao's figure has also appeared in front of Enelu. Humph, idiot, even though you already know that I have the thunderbolt fruit, don't you realize that any physical strike is ineffective for me? Seeing Lin Xiao's fist the size of a sandbag hit him head-on, Enelu not only dodges but also avoids. Instead, with a proud expression on his face, he took the initiative to greet him with his head raised. Lin Xiao showed off twice in a row, now it's finally his turn. Enelu wants the stinky monkey from Qinghai in front of him to realize how humble and desperate he is in front of God. It's useless, you can never hit me. Boom. The next moment, Lin Xiao's fist, which blended his armed colors and explosive fruit abilities, heavily hit the face of Eni Road. The terrifying impact of the explosion directly blasted Enelu's body away. If it weren't for him at the last minute, with the speed of the heart net and the thunderbolt fruit, he dodged the fatal injuries at close range, I'm afraid my head has been blown out by now. But if that's the case, his current situation is also extremely dire. The position of the right cheek and the entire right arm is completely bloody and blurred. All the drums behind were shattered. This is impossible, Qinghai native. How could you hit me? Enelu felt that his long-standing understanding was about to be overturned. Surprisingly, someone can attack the gods with their bloody body. Enelu, you're just an arrogant person sitting in a well and observing the sky. Although natural elements can be elemental, they are not invincible. There are many ways to deal with those with natural abilities below, and the armed color and domineering aura I use is one of them. Lin Xiao's lips curved into a bloodthirsty sneer. The next second, the figure approaches again, the fists entwined with armed and domineering colors were smashed down with a loud bang. Bang, Enelu flew out upside down, the blood drew a crimson arc in mid-air. The intense pain made him curl up on the ground and roll back and forth, his face twisted like a ferocious ghost. How audacious! You damn Qinghai native, how dare you so profane the dignity of the gods! Enelu struggled to stand up, blood staining half of his body. The former composure and dignity are no longer present, all that remains is a strong hatred. I am a god, no matter how powerful your so-called armed color dominance is, it is impossible to defeat me who has the strongest natural demon fruit. No one can defeat me. 2 billion volts, Thor. The terrifying Raymond was fully released from Enelil's body and gathered on him, forming a huge body with the appearance of a Thor god. This is the strongest move of Enelu, the power cannot be underestimated. I don't know how to live or die. Sand rain. Unlimited explosive. Lin Xiao's eyes flickered with enthusiasm. Today, I happen to use Enelu to test the combination skill of the dual fruit ability. Swipe your right arm forward fiercely. In the blink of an eye, the flying sandstorm completely enveloped the space where the god society was located. Not giving Enelu a chance to take action or escape at all. The sand and gravel in the air instantly transformed into powerful bombs. The terrifying explosion echoed through the sky. A huge mushroom cloud rose up with it. The scorching heat terrifying shockwaves the continuous and uninterrupted explosion directly reduced everything above the huge vine to ashes. That scene was like the end of the world. The explosion didn't stop abruptly until 10 minutes later. Lin Xiao's figure immediately fell leisurely from the smoke of gunpowder. His right hand held a body covered in burnt black. It is Enelu who considers himself a god. Lin Xiao's face was slightly pale, but his expression was extremely excited. A combination of sand fruit and explosive fruit, sure enough, it can use a terrifying effect similar to the 600 billion detonation symbol and the infinite multiplication detonation symbol. Even if Enelu has the speed of lightning movement, but in that deathly space where there is continuous detonation, no matter which direction you rush towards, will be affected by the explosion. It's fortunate that he didn't explode his body into fly ash. However, this move consumes a considerable amount of physical energy. If it weren't for Lin Xiao's two extraordinary constitutions as support, he would probably have been hollowed out directly. It seems that we need to use it carefully in the future. Lin Xiaosui looked at the body of Enelu, his dark eyes flickering with excitement, muttering to himself. I seem to have gone too far in playing, and I don't know if the corpse has turned into this ghostly appearance. Can the system take advantage of his abilities? If not, this time it will be a big loss. VIP plunder, start. Bang, the next second, a huge golden coffin with an extremely luxurious design descended from the sky. The entire empty island trembled with it. While the golden coffin lid opens, the 6 arms thick golden chains instantly emerged from the coffin. Directly dragged the body of Eni Road inside. Ding, the system has detected the bodies of a newly deceased person named Enelu, within a day, meeting the conditions for looting. The system has automatically deducted 1 billion berries. P.S. The new book is on its way. We kindly ask all the big shots to vote for free flowers and tickets. Thank you very much, little brother. Chapter 6. The Ark Proverbs. Seeking flowers, seeking harvest. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. The Ark Proverbs. Seeking flowers, seeking collection, seeking evaluation. Ding. VIP ability plunder completed. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Thunderbolt fruit ability possessed by the newly deceased Enelu. The system has automatically undergone scale.free treatment to eliminate side effects such as seawater and sea floor stones. Please use with confidence. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining advanced seeing, hearing, and colorful dominance. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the special skill HeartNet. Feeling the terrifying energy filling his whole body, Lin Xiao's face showed a satisfied smile. His aura and aura have also been directly elevated from Beginner Plus to Advanced, and also gained a special skill called HeartNet. With the idea of giving it a try, Lin Xiao directly opened his heart. What's going on? Why did Lord Enelu's shrine explode? Shouldn't it be a gorilla? Are those guys from the team attacking Lord Enelu? Oh my god, will we be provoked? Weibo, the god of Enelu, disappeared from the explosion just now. Should we go over and take a look now? It would be great if that despicable guy from Enelu were killed by the explosion. Great warrior, please bless us to regain the island of God. A series of voices flooded into Lin Xiao's mind. Every islander appears in the form of a blue light dot on his heart. The stronger the person's strength, the greater the point of light they represent. He can immediately choose among these light points. It can be said that it is the ultimate skill of listening. Someone is here. With such intensity, it should be Ganfu, the former god of Kongda. When an old man wearing armor and riding a flying horse had just entered the edge of the divine island, Lin Xiao had already sensed his existence with a domineering aura of sight, smell, and color. Lin Xiao is not unfamiliar with the 400-year-long war between the residents of the deserted island and the indigenous people of Sandia. If he is willing, he can take advantage of the prestige of killing Eni Road and the Golden Bell, which was washed up to the top of the giant vine by the towering sea currents 400 years ago, to conquer the empty island. However, in this way, it will consume a lot of his time. Compared to the top wars that he sees as a rising stage, the empty island suddenly became somewhat insignificant. I can't be distracted for now until the layout is completed. Empty island, it won't be long before I come back. After a slight balance, Lin Xiao's figure instantly turned into a blue lightning bolt and flew towards a huge hole on the island of gods. After a moment, his figure appeared in the huge cave where the Ark Proverbs were built on Eni Road. After casually eliminating the dozen or so divine soldiers responsible for supervising the work, Lin Xiao stepped forward to the huge spaceship that had not yet been built. It's a pity that this spaceship was built. At that time, it should have left a sigh of relief for Enelu. At least let him finish building the ship before he dies. Lin Xiao's face showed a hint of regret. In his past life, he had read an analysis by a host, stating that the Ark Proverbs were likely a shortened version of one of the three ancient weapons, the Hades King. And the true Hades King, it is the final combination of Thunderbolt Fruit plus Ark's Proverbs. Although this statement has not been confirmed, there is no more deeply rooted speculation like, Frankie burned down the manufacturing blueprint of the Hades King himself, or, the sunshine of 10,000 miles is the little Hades King. But it is not completely empty either. The cave is filled with wind. At least in terms of the power of destroying the island, the Ark Proverbs is in line with legend. In the original work, the thunder cloud created by Enelu using the Ark Proverbs released the thunder welcome, but in the blink of an eye, it turned a cloud island into dust. If you exert all your strength, it can also eliminate all living beings in the entire country. A ship with such terrifying power, if it were to be said that it was personally developed by the big-eared thief Enelu, the second in the middle school, Lin Xiao would never believe it. However, as the proverbs were built under the personal supervision of Enelu, so besides himself, others are completely unaware of the details of the construction. Lin Xiao had no choice but to endure the pain and put all the large amount of gold used to build the proverbs into the system. But it smells so good. After all the calculations, it turns out to be nearly 2 billion yuan. Lin Xiao's face suddenly showed a satisfied smile. Now he has a total of nearly 3 billion berry worth of funds, which is enough for him to launch 3 more VIP raids. However, there is still a certain gap between this number and his plan. It seems that we need to make another round of money to find a chance. It's time to leave, we must prepare everything before the top war. At the same time, directly below the empty island, in a certain sea area near the town of Mogu, the originally sunny sky was shrouded in a black cloud. The calm sea surged with towering waves, and an immensely huge vortex suddenly appeared, leaving even the Sea Kings with no room for resistance in front of it. Luffy, please spare us. It's really scary, let me go back. If we keep moving forward, will die. Ah 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 ah. That bastard gorilla, why didn't you tell me there would be such a big vortex appearing? This is murder. The members of the weak trio of Usopp, Joba, and Nami were frightened and cried, but Captain Luffy ignored them directly. Everyone, if I missed such an exciting adventure on an empty island, I would regret it for a lifetime. The Golden Mary spun rapidly towards the center of the vortex amidst a sharp cry. Just when the ship was about to be swallowed, the huge vortex suddenly disappeared. The sea has returned to calm, everyone looked bewildered. Everyone, hold on firmly. The vortex has only sunk to the bottom of the sea, and the towering current should be coming soon. Nami issued a warning as soon as possible. However, a burst of crazy laughter suddenly came from afar. Next, a huge pirate ship that looked like a bamboo raft appeared in the sight of Luffy and others. And the man standing at the bow of the boat, it was the Blackbeard they had encountered before in Mogu Town. Thief, ha ha ha, Straw Hat Luffy, I finally caught up with you. P.S. The new book is on its way. We kindly ask all the big shots to vote for free flowers and tickets. Thank you very much, little brother. Chapter 7. Luffy is my prey. Seeking fresh flowers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Luffy is my prey. Seeking flowers, seeking collection, seeking evaluation. Straw Hat Kid, I'm here to take your head worth 100 million yuan. Let me die obediently. Blackbeard pointed to the freshly baked bounty in his hand and shouted arrogantly. The bounty for Luffy on the bounty order has skyrocketed from 30 million berry to 100 million berry, this is also the main reason why Blackbeard is eyeing him. At this moment, Blackbeard was evading the pursuit of the Whitebeard pirates, he also began the first step of his plan. That is to arrest a pirate with a bounty of over 100 million and hand it over to the world government, and then exchange this for the identity of King Xia Chiwu-hai. This identity is crucial for his plan, so naturally, we won't let go of Luffy, this little fat sheep. Everyone, that guy said my head is worth 100 million now. Luffy pointed at his own head and said excitedly to Nami and others. Idiot, why are you so happy? Did you put your focus in the wrong place? Nami raised her hand and made a violent remark, then looked at the Blackbeard group with a worried expression and said. It must be because you defeated that 7 martial seas in Alabastion, that the reward amount has increased so much in one go. Luffy, be careful, they are very strong. Sauron slowly approached the bow of the ship and stared at the movements of Blackbeard and others like a formidable enemy. Thief, haha, that's great. Pirate hunter Sauron is also on the ship, and his bounty is also 60 million. Together, it should be enough. Blackbeard suddenly pointed at the sail of the Golden Mary and said to Sniper Van Oka beside him. Beat down their sails for me, their heads are the key to my promotion to the 7 martial seas. We must not let them escape. This should be their fate. At this point, the two ships are less than 1,000 meters apart, which is a distance that no pre-sighting is necessary for divine hands like Van Oka. Even if the enemy appears several kilometers away, he can also accurately hit the designated part of the opponent. Looking at the entire world of pirates, I'm afraid except for one sniper named Jesus from the red-headed pirates, no one else is his opponent. Bang! 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 Van Oka raised his hand and fired 3 shots at the main sail of the Golden Mary, the bullets sped out at an indescribable speed. Luffy and his team were unable to react at all. However, the scene of the sail falling that the Blackbeard group had hoped for did not appear. Just as the bullets were about to break the 3 ropes that controlled the main sail of the Golden Mary, a blue lightning bolt suddenly fell from the sky, blocking all 3 bullets in the astonished eyes of the crowd. Then a tall figure appeared at the top of the mast. Ah! Nicole Robin, who had been silent since boarding the ship, was immediately frightened and screamed when she saw Lin Xiao, and her outer body trembled uncontrollably due to extreme fear. At the same time, I also recall the terrifying night before leaving Alabastion. That night, while Luffy and others were resting in the palace, Robin boarded the unmanned Golden Mary alone. At that time, she had nowhere else to go. Just as she was washing away all the blood stains in the bathroom and admiring herself in the mirror, Lin Xiao appeared. Fortunately, this demon-like man did not have any ulterior motives towards her, who was covered in red fruits. After subduing Robin with sand fruit, Lin Xiao bluntly said, "If you don't want to be killed by me now, you must do something for me at a special moment according to my instructions." In order to survive, Robin had to agree. But I didn't expect the two to meet again so soon. And the other party had just transformed into lightning, which made Robin feel a deep sense of powerlessness again. Even ambitious guys like Clockdale appeared so insignificant in front of the man across from him. What a terrifying guy. Hey Robin, why are you so afraid of him? Has he ever bullied you? Let me help you beat him up. Lu Fei said with an eager expression. I didn't even realize what kind of terrifying existence I was going to face. Don't do anything, otherwise we'll all die. Robin exclaimed in shock. She doesn't want to pay for Luffy's recklessness. Meanwhile, Fan Oka across from him saw that someone had stopped his 3 bullets. Almost immediately, he fired 3 shots at Lin Xiao's eyebrows again. As a top sniper, his speed and ability are equally outstanding. ZZ, blue lightning pierced through the sky. Next second, Lin Xiao's figure had already appeared in front of Fan Oka. The index finger of the flickering terrifying electric light hovered at the center of the opponent's eyebrows. As long as he moves forward 1 centimeter, Fan Oka will soon be electrocuted into a charred corpse. Good marksmanship, are you interested in joining my team? Fan Oka's just demonstrated sniping and speed shooting abilities left a good impression on Lin Xiao. If this kind of talent can be recruited, it would still be good. Thief, haha, this young man, stealing my crew so blatantly, do you really not exist as a captain like me? After Lin Xiao appeared, Blackbeard's gaze was fixed on him, and a greedy expression couldn't be suppressed in his eyes. He, who could recite the demon fruit illustrated by heart, immediately guessed the thunderbolt fruit on Lin Xiao's body. Although Blackbeard's ultimate goal is to shake the fruit of his father's white beard, but in the face of such a rare lightning natural demon fruit, his heart was equally restless. But he can tell, Lin Xiao is very strong. And sea combat is not his strong suit either, so he can only try his best to suppress his expectations. Hey, Blackbeard and Straw Hat Luffy are my prey. If you're following his lead, I don't mind taking action right away and killing you right here. Lin Xiao's tone was indifferent, as if he was talking about something very insignificant. This is really a headache. Blackbeard's face suddenly changed, but soon he burst out laughing again. If I let go of the Straw Hat group, it will have a great impact on my future plans. This young man, how will you compensate me? P.S. The new book is on its way. We kindly ask all the big shots to vote for free flowers and tickets. Thank you very much, little brother. Chapter 8. Another candidate. Seeking flowers, seeking harvest. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Another candidate. Seeking flowers, seeking collection, seeking evaluation. Captain, what are you talking to this kid about? How could you let the prey that has already reached your mouth run away? Let me handle this troublesome kid. Fighting champion Bashas shouted with a disdainful expression on his face. Without waiting for Blackbeard to nod and agree, his strong body had already jumped up high, and his huge fist was fiercely hitting Lin Xiao's head. In the original work, Bashas became the captain of the Blackbeard Pirates' one ship due to his ability to suppress rain, such as Shilio and others. Not just because he is Blackbeard's absolute confidant. He actually possesses very powerful physical skills, and with just one elbow strike, he can penetrate buildings, causing great vibration and damage. His strength is impressive. And his armed aura is also excellent. So even if Lin Xiao is a thunderbolt-type devil fruit ability, he had no fear at all. Blackbeard did not intervene, because he also wants to explore Lin Xiao's background. And they are ready to rise up in groups and attack. This is his usual routine and style. For Blackbeard, the most important thing is to achieve the goal. In addition, he can refuse anything related to face or reputation. Anyway, when he becomes the Pirate King, if anyone dares to say no, he will send someone to destroy the other party's entire family. However, this time Blackbeard and Bashas clearly underestimated Lin Xiao's strength. When the Bashar people are still in mid-air and haven't fallen, Lin Xiao's figure has already stood above his head. God's sanction. The huge pillar of lightning pierced through the sky, carrying a terrifying aura of destruction and descending from the sky, directly annihilating the figure of Bashas. Damn it! Blackbeard and others had a sudden change in their faces and quickly retreated, afraid of being affected. Bang! As the bright daylight dissipated, the disheveled figure of Bashas gradually emerged. Although he used his armed aura to resist some of the lightning power at the last moment. But if that's the case, the aftermath still left his internal organs severely damaged, his whole body scorched black, and he struggled to crawl to the ground. Just the aftermath has caused me such a serious injury. Captain, be careful, this kid's strength is terrifying. Basha's face had long lost its previous disdain. Just now, Lin Xiao almost killed him with that blow. The young man in front of me is obviously a ruthless character who has been extremely ruthless. Just now he saw that Lin Xiao was not yet 20 years old, subconsciously, he thought the other person was a rookie who was just starting out and didn't know where to start. Who would have thought that Lin Xiao's strength was so strong? I can't help but regret that my reckless actions almost cost me my life. Has the fruit's ability surpassed the strength of Bashar's armed colors? The greed in Blackbeard's eyes became increasingly intense. Although armed color dominance can to some extent defend against the ability of certain demon fruits. But the premise is that the strength of the armed color dominance must exceed that of the opponent. Just like Luoning covering his entire body with armed and domineering Vilgo in one go and two cuts, but it couldn't cut down like Domingo. Basha's level of armed color, Blackbeard, was naturally clear, so his fear of Lin Xiao grew even deeper in his heart. Forcefully suppressing greed in his heart, he opened his arms and loudly said. Thief, haha, this young man, are you interested in joining my pirate group? If you agree, I will immediately let go of the Straw Hat group. The arrest of Luffy was just his temporary intention. If Lin Xiao agrees to join, he can spare Luffy and hand over a pirate with a bounty of over 100 million to the world government. This has no impact on Blackbeard's plan at all. But if Blackbeard found out that Luffy had a revolutionary father who was listed as the #1 wanted criminal by the world government, he probably wouldn't agree to kill him. Want me to join? Do you also deserve it? If Lin Xiao wanted to become the Pirate King, he would have formed his own pirate team as early as 6 months ago, and there was no need to wait until now. What he wants is to reach the top of the world. And the top war is the best stage for him to showcase his strength. Blackbeard, I know you want to exchange Luffy's head for Wang Xia's position in the 7 Martial Seas, but I can tell you that his head has already been reserved by me. If you don't want to die here, it's best to switch to a different target. Thief, haha, I can't tell. Little brother, you know quite a bit. I'm really trying to get you to join now. Blackbeard was not angry, but instead laughed even more fervently, saying, a person's dream will never end. In the future, I am destined to become famous all over the world. Follow me, let's work together to achieve the great dream that Roger and those old guys couldn't achieve. How about that? To be honest, Lin Xiao doesn't dislike Blackbeard. Instead, he thinks that people like him are the ones who truly qualify to become the One Piece King. He is willing to gamble his future on an unknown thing for the sake of an uncertain dark fruit. After more than 20 years of lurking, he was able to target his friends, and his resilience, cruelty, and greed were self-evident. Compared to him, Luffy, it's like a big fool with nothing but background. The world of pirates is inherently a distorted existence. Roger, who caused world turmoil, has been praised by the world, and the Navy, which upholds justice, has become the lackeys of the world's nobility. The boundary between justice and evil has long become blurred. Only strength can determine the ultimate success or failure. However, appreciation returns to appreciation. Even if Lin Xiao's target is not the Pirate King, he will definitely not become Blackbeard's ally or partner. If it weren't for the fact that the other party still has great potential for utilization, Lin Xiao doesn't need to bother him at all. Blackbeard, quickly put away your poor performance. Crew members are just valuable chips for you to use, you can abandon them at any time. Lin Xiao's eyes flashed with a sly expression, and he said with a wicked smile. However, as compensation for giving up Luffy, I can provide you with another more suitable candidate to ensure that the world government finds it difficult to refuse your request. Tell me about it. Blackbeard's face changed and changed, but in the end, it was still difficult to resist such a huge temptation. P.S. The new book is on its way. We kindly ask all the big shots to vote for free flowers and tickets. Thank you very much, little brother. Chapter 9. He is the son of the Pirate King. Seeking fresh flowers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. He is the son of the Pirate King. Seeking flowers, seeking collection, seeking evaluation. At present, Fire Fist Ace is chasing your whereabouts alone. I believe you know his purpose without me saying it. Lin Xiao said with a smile. Are you referring to Ace as the candidate? Blackbeard's face suddenly became gloomy, and his gaze fixed on Lin Xiao with a sinister gaze, saying. Although Ace's popularity and bounty are higher than Straw Hat, the danger is also higher. Choosing such a powerful target is a very unwise move. During the period when Blackbeard did not betray the Whitebeard pirates, his relationship with Ace is quite harmonious. Even the position of captain of the second team was voluntarily given to Ace by Blackbeard. So he has a profound understanding of Ace's strength. If you knew Ace's true identity, you probably wouldn't be so hesitant. Real identity. A puzzled expression appeared on Blackbeard's face. Having been with Ace for so long, he really doesn't know much about the other person's background. If I tell you his real name is not Portacas D. Ace, but what about Joel D. Ace? Lin Xiao smiled with a wicked charm. The trigger for the top war in the original work was Blackbeard's capture of Ace, who was then handed over to the world government in exchange for the identity of 7 armed seas. Lin Xiao not only did not want to change this outcome, but also wanted to make the top war surpass its original scale and become an unprecedented super battle. So he must completely arouse Blackbeard's greed and ambition in his heart. What are you saying? Blackbeard's expression instantly became extremely exaggerated, his chin almost dropped to the ground, and his eyes almost flew out. Staring blankly at Lin Xiao as if petrified for a long time, he suddenly regained his senses and his eyes were filled with a fiery glow far beyond before. Thief, haha, this news is simply too unexpected. That guy Ace is actually Roger's son, the Pirate King. No wonder my dad is so fond of him. Blackbeard had thought that Ace might be the son of some big shot, but he never dared to think about Roger, who had just started the era of the great pirates. Well, you're right. He is indeed the most suitable candidate. With him, the world government will definitely not refuse my request. Blackbeard suddenly showed a flattering smile on his face, and his eyes were filled with an uncontrollable scorching light. It's not a problem for the Straw Hat Kid to leave it for you, but may I ask where I'm going to catch Ace? As a gambler who dares to take his life as a gamble, how could Blackbeard have missed this big gamble? And just now he had come up with a more perfect plan. Dad, your shaking fruit is mine. I want this sniper, promise me and I'll tell you. Lin Xiao gave a cunning smile and pointed to Fan Oka, who had been aiming his gun at his head across from him, but no matter how the ship was bumping, his arms remained motionless. Currently, among the 4 members of the Blackbeard pirates, only Fan Oka, who has exceptional sniper skills, can catch his eye. Blackbeard nodded almost without hesitation and said, "Thief, as long as Van Oka agrees, I will never stop him. If he doesn't agree, how about I give you his body?" There is no emotional bond between Blackbeard and his crew, everyone is just a chip on his path to success. For him, abandoning the crew, it's simply the simplest thing to do. He wouldn't even feel ashamed about it. This is fate. Although Fan Oka had already guessed the result, he was still disgusted by Blackbeard's actions. A helpless expression appeared on his face. Fan Oka put down his sniper rifle and walked towards Lin Xiao. However, 2 steps have not been taken yet, but Lin Xiao's teasing voice came from across. "Forget it, I suddenly don't want him again." Fan Oka awkwardly stopped in place, neither advancing nor retreating. Young people don't talk about martial arts. Isn't this really playing with me? Thief, that's great. I'm still a bit reluctant to part with my sniper. But you can tell me now. Blackbeard pretended and said something. But anyone can see the perfunctory expression on his face. He only cares about one thing the most, that is the whereabouts of Ace. You don't need to search, just go to Bonero Island and wait for him to come knocking on your door. In less than 3 days, Ace will arrive. Lin Xiao said a faint sentence, and his figure immediately turned into a blue lightning bolt and rushed towards the sky, not afraid that the Blackbeard group would not keep their promise. Just before leaving, he gave Van Oka a meaningful glance. The other party's resentful gaze had already indicated their attitude. Why didn't Mao take me away? How do you want me to get along in the Blackbeard pirates in the future? The crack between Van Oka and Blackbeard, once formed, could no longer heal. Lin Xiao is no longer in a hurry to subdue this sniper now. Cough. Captain, are we really going to let those little ghosts go? After Lin Xiao left, Poison Q, who had been silent for a long time, panted and said. The little ghost in his mouth is naturally the group of Luffy on the opposite side with a bewildered expression and no idea what happened. Although Poison Q always gives people a sickly and dying appearance. But in fact, he is the strongest member of the Blackbeard pirates besides Blackbeard. But he is very good at hiding his strength. Thieves, it's okay, let them go. They have no value to me anymore. Our most important thing right now is to go to Bonero Island and wait for Ace. After learning about Ace's true identity, Luffy and his team were worthless in Blackbeard's eyes as garbage. Blackbeard raised his hands with an excited expression and laughed loudly, saying, Ace, I've told you before that reunion is like a gear, and it's inevitable to meet again, but when we meet again, it's your end. As for Lin Xiao, Blackbeard decided to invite him again after receiving the Jinjin fruit. If he still doesn't know the current situation by then. That rare thunder fruit is also his Blackbeard. As soon as I think of this, the smile on Blackbeard's face became even more insane. Unconsciously, his plan has already been seen through by Lin Xiao. And the reason why he was able to leave this sea alive, it's all because Lin Xiao thinks he still has some useful value. As for the top war that Blackbeard will see as a rising stage in the future, it is also destined to become a solo role for Lin Xiao. P.S. The new book is on its way. We kindly ask all the big shots to vote for free flowers and tickets. Thank you very much, little brother. Chapter 10. I'm here to grab your floating fruit. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. I'm here to grab your floating fruit. Seeking flowers, seeking collection, seeking evaluation. 1 week later. East China Sea. On a sea of clouds several thousand meters high, more than 10 islands of different sizes surround a winter island with year-round snow in the center, quietly floating in the sky. This is the lair of the Golden Lion, one of the 3 legendary pirates on par with Roger and Whitebeard. For over 20 years after escaping from the advancing city, he remained dormant here. He truly deserves to be the Golden Lion. In today's world, he is probably the only one who can achieve this kind of tolerance. Lin Xiao stood on Winter Island, scanning the surrounding islands and sincerely praised. This massive scale and forever floating attribute, apart from the floating fruits, I'm afraid even the great General Tenghu, who can manipulate gravity to pull down meteorites, may not be able to do it. However, it is such a veteran powerhouse, unexpectedly losing to Luffy, who doesn't even know how to dominate with 3 colors. This makes Lin Xiao feel extremely ridiculous every time he thinks of it. What kind of person are you? How dare you sneak into Lord Golden Lion's island? As soon as Lin Xiao arrived at the palace where the Golden Lion was located, he was discovered by the pirates responsible for patrolling the square. A group of people remained silent, directly launched an attack on Lin Xiao. I'm not here to find you, so it's better for the cannon fodder to leave as soon as possible. Lin Xiao's mouth curved slightly, and a flickering arc appeared in his right arm. He immediately activated the Thunderbolt fruit ability, creating a 20 million volt chain of lightning bolts. Pai Li Pa La, the group of pirates on the opposite side collapsed to the ground in an instant, covered in scorched black. Before the official start of the war, it's better to turn this place into my main battlefield. Erosion Reincarnation. Lin Xiao once again activated the sand fruit ability, pressed the right hand heavily towards the ground, which can absorb any moisture. Next second. The Winter Island, which was originally covered in white snow, instantly melted with ice and snow, exposed its original appearance. But then the ground began to wither and crack, eventually, it formed a desolate desert that made people feel hopeless. Shagua is really convenient to use. No wonder Clockdale, when he was young, was able to compete closely with the Devil's Heir Barrett. Lin Xiao smiled and sighed. Bang, accompanied by a dull explosion, an angry figure rose from the yellow sand into the sky. Damn it, did you, this bastard little devil, destroy my palace? Do you know that there is a secret potion that the old man spent 20 years carefully developing inside? I must shatter your body to pieces. Chop the waves. The Golden Lion's crimson eyes directly locked onto Lin Xiao's position, roaring wildly. He worked hard for 20 years to study the IQ potion that could make animals ferocious, all of which were submerged in endless yellow sand along with the collapse of the palace. This is the weapon he is preparing to seek revenge against the world government and navy. Now they are all ruined by this little ghost in front of them. Shua, the famous sword Sakuragi, tied to his right foot, swung out a huge sword aura. The crescent-shaped slash pierced through the sky, leaving a wide ravine on the ground, carrying an astonishing and powerful force as it roared towards Lin Xiao. But although the chopping wave is fast, but for Lin Xiao, who possesses the advanced and powerful aura of seeing, hearing, and color, but it can be easily and elegantly avoided. I said the Golden Lion, after escaping from the advancing city, has become a legend. Isn't it good to choose a place to die? We must continue to die. Lin Xiao said slightly teasingly. Damn it, little devil, who the hell are you? How could you evade my chopping wave? The Golden Lion showed a solemn expression on its face. Although after the Battle of Art Wall, the Golden Lion's 3-color dominance and own strength were greatly reduced due to the influence of the rudder on his head. But he has great confidence in his swordsmanship. His chopping waves not only have a rapid speed, but also have the power to cut through the sea for hundreds of kilometers, which is a true level of a great swordsman. This is the only thing he can be proud of now, apart from the floating fruit. However, the boy across from him easily dodged. It inevitably surprised him a bit. It doesn't matter who I am, what's important is. I'm here today to plunder your floating fruit. Lin Xiao's lips curved with a faint smile, and his eyes were full of war, provoking him. As remnants of the old era, your old folks' stage has come to an end. Don't jump out and grab the attention of young people. You arrogant and ignorant little devil, do you know how tall the grave grass is now, the last guy who dared to talk to me like this? The golden lion was instantly enraged, and someone dared to be so reckless with him. Can this be tolerated? Swinging the double swords under my feet. Giant slashing waves shimmering with dazzling golden light roared out. Lion, thousand-cut valley. The dense chopping waves were like a golden storm raging between heaven and earth, as if they were about to tear apart the sky and seal off every possible direction that Lin Xiao could dodge from all directions. Extremely spicy. Zizi, however, Lin Xiao transformed into a blue ark, relying on his aura of seeing and hearing, calmly traversing layers of chopping waves and appearing above the head of the golden lion in the blink of an eye. I heard you're afraid of thunder. Discharge 200 million volts. The dazzling thunder instantly enveloped the golden lion. In the theatrical version, Luffy defeated the golden lion by using Lei Yun's 3 rubber giant lightning axes. Lin Xiao simply wanted to verify, is the golden lion so crispy? Chop the waves. The soaring sword energy directly shattered the thunderbolt and burst into the air. A huge slashing strike came across. Lin Xiao calmly dodged and already had an answer in his heart. Luffy, that kid is forcing me to cheat. Who told you that I'm afraid of thunder, but it's really surprising. I didn't expect you to be a double fruit ability person. The golden lion must be a legendary pirate. After resisting 200 million volts, although his body stumbled several times, but it didn't fall down. The charred body kept emitting wisps of green smoke outwards. The golden long hair that made him proud was now all burnt and looked extremely disheveled. However, even so, he still hasn't lost his combat effectiveness. Instead, he stared at Lin Xiao with a burning gaze and asked, "Little devil, tell me quickly. How did you manage to eat 2 demon fruits at the same time without being cursed and exploding?" The face of the golden lion was full of greed. He saw new hope in Lin Xiao. If we can figure out the secret of the dual fruit ability, he can build a powerful army that will make the whole world tremble with fear. By then, neither the world government nor the navy can prevent him from reaching the summit. Do you want to know? I'll tell you if I win. PS1. Regarding the timeline of the golden lion being defeated by Luffy. Although it is a theatrical version, there are still some traces to be found. In The Strong World, Luffy and his crew are sailing a new ship, the 1,000-Mile Sunshine, so it must be the capital of the 7 rivers and the private island, too. The presence of Brook on the ship proves that he has just defeated Moonlight Moria. 3. All staff are present, and the opening bounty is the amount from 2 years before the war, so it must be before the war. In summary, the defeat of the Golden Lion by Luffy and his team should have occurred during the period when they had just defeated Moonlight Moria, but had not yet arrived at the Shampoo Islands and were beaten away by the bear. Does not conflict with the timeline of this book. PS2. The new book is on its way, please all the big shots vote for free flowers and tickets. Thank you very much, little brother.